Today, I'll show you how Incode's identity verification seamlessly integrates with Greenhouse ATS to secure every step of your candidate journey. Traditional hiring processes are vulnerable. We're seeing cases of North Korean operatives infiltrating Fortune 500 companies, proxy candidates appearing for interviews, and synthetic identities making it through screening. Recruiters need a way to verify that candidates are who they claim to be, from application to day one onboarding. Incode Workforce provides end-to-end identity verification that integrates directly with Greenhouse ATS. Here's how it works. Here, I'm in a candidate profile. You'll see within this candidate profile, as someone went in and applied for a new job, I have different attributes about the candidate. First, we perform an eKYC screening when the candidate applies, checking their email, phone, and identity signals against authoritative databases. Based on risk scores, candidates are routed into different verification flows. To give an example, here in my candidate profile, you'll see I have a phone risk level and an email risk level. As I just applied, when I refresh this page here, you'll see I have a phone risk level of low and an email risk level of medium. Here I can take appropriate action based on those risk levels. Here, I would consider this a fairly low risk user. So it may make sense to have the candidate go through full-blown identity verification at the end of the interview stage, or whatever fits your particular use case. On the other hand, if the phone risk or email risk level was high, high-risk candidates get immediate full identity verification. Medium risk candidates may be verified before interviews, and again, those low-risk candidates, they can proceed with verification later on in the process to reduce the amount of friction required during the interview process. In this example, I created a custom stage called Candidate IDV. I can go ahead and move the candidate stage from application review to Candidate IDV. Through an integration, we can go ahead and send an email automatically to the candidate on file, either to their email or to their SMS phone number. In this case, we send it to their email. You'll see as I open my email, I receive a notification that I'm going to be required to verify my identity. If I was already on a mobile device and I click verify my identity, it would take me right to the Incode identity verification flow. Since I'm on a desktop device, you'll notice it prompted me for a QR code. This QR code refreshes every 10 seconds or so to prevent anti-phishing and man-in-the-middle attacks. We want to ensure that the person who's verifying their identity is indeed the person that submitted the application in the first place. We only have a mobile flow enabled, meaning it's going to have me scan this QR code so I can go through the identity verification flow on my mobile device. We do support desktop as well. However, we don't recommend it due to the range of quality of the webcams across multiple desktop and laptop devices. I'm going to proceed with scanning this QR code. As I scan this QR code, it's going to take me to Incode ID, where I can proceed with verifying my identity. On this page here, this is our brandable screen that users are taken to. We can add your company logo here, as well as to change the color scheme that you see here on my mobile device on the right-hand side. The terms and conditions and privacy policy that I'm going to check here also can be customized to point to your terms and your privacy policy. Here I'm going to select both and proceed with verifying my identity. The process from end to end takes approximately 30 seconds. The first step of the process is going to be to scan the front of my identity document. In this case, I'm going to use my Florida driver's license. You'll notice I don't have to change the orientation of my identity document. Incode detects the orientation of the document automatically and does an auto capture of that document. We do a variety of authenticity checks behind the scene to ensure this is indeed an authentic driver's license. Next step of the process is to do a capture of the back of my driver's license, in which case we're extracting the data from the PDF 417 barcode, that barcode you see on the back of my identity document, and we're comparing that data against what we extracted on the front of the identity document. Now that we've captured the identity document and verified authenticity, the next step of the process is to ensure the candidate's identity matches the identity on the legal document by doing a live selfie capture and comparing it against a headshot on the identity document. Let's go ahead and proceed. Incode uses a passive liveness. This is a process of verifying that the candidate itself comes from a real live person without requiring the user to do anything special, like turning their head or blinking. As you saw, We captured my selfie in just a few seconds. Our system analyzes the image in the background using AI and computer vision to confirm it's a genuine document, not a photo or a video replay. At Incode, we go further by using our deep sight technology, which is specifically designed to detect AI-generated deepfakes. We look for subtle patterns and artifacts that are invisible to the human eye, and we also look at the device itself. Is it a jailbroken device? Is there an injection to the actual camera using a video replay that's been synthetically created? And as you saw here, we also are able to redirect the user to some sort of success page, which in this case, we're just taking them to the Incode homepage. Again, I want to reiterate the end-to-end experience took approximately around 30 seconds. The verification results appear directly in the candidate Greenhouse profile. Recruiters see a clear pass and fail status with detailed insights if needed. No need to leave Greenhouse at all or use separate system. Implementation of this is also fairly straightforward. We have developer documentation using an automation platform like Times, where we can connect Greenhouse to Incode through APIs and webhooks. Most customers are up and running within a day or two, so just a couple of business days. The ROI is also immediate. We're reducing fraud risk. We're creating faster hiring decisions, as well as protection of your company's reputation. Let's transition over to our Incode Workforce Dashboard. We do provide this to all of our customers where you can get deeper insights of all the verifications through your specific environment. So if I go ahead and refresh here, you'll notice the most recent verification attempt. Here we can go into the verification I just went through, and we can see the steps taken from an end user perspective. Here you can see that my data sharing was accepted. I accepted the consent screen. My ID has been processed, and this is optional. If you want us to scrub the data from our dashboard, we can certainly do that. Here you can see the face that was processed and compared against a selfie, as well as we're confirming that my information, that my legal identity information match what I used in the actual application. So we're ensuring that the legal name matches the name that was used during application submission. If there was a mismatch of the directory information, we can also see a claims manual review, and we can see exactly why there was a mismatch. So here you can see, here's a full legal name versus the name that the individual used for their application, and we can either approve or deny that request. We also have a candidate verification section of our portal. So if you were unable to integrate or didn't have any interest in integrating directly with your applicant tracking system, you could use a manual process of sending verification links out to your candidates. Here I can go ahead and create a new candidate profile. So we'll call this Ryan Freese. And I can share the verification link via an SMS, email, or while I'm creating a meeting invite, I can also secure any sort of meeting invite like a Zoom, a WebEx, a Teams meeting, etc. with Incode verification. What this will do is, in order to join that meeting, the individual has to verify their identity, and we're doing a match against their name. So before doing a panel interview, as an example, if you want to ensure that the person is indeed the person who submitted the application, that it's not someone else doing an assessment on their behalf, we can secure that meeting with identity verification. So how about it? Are you ready to secure your hiring process? Contact your Incode solutions engineer or your account executive to see this integration in action with your Greenhouse instance or your other ATS. Protect your workforce from day one.